So it is video 4 of today, and we have our brand new You Are Dream to Get Glossy, the Zexal World's release. Now, this one's kind of important because we have two new things taken into consideration with this one. First of all, we have a ban list coming in 2 weeks, which is going to hit, Invoked. It's going to hit pretty much every meta deck, so some suggestions here that would have been suggested now aren't. And also, we just got Xyz summoning, and that means we can now look at a bunch of older decks and see, do these work well with Xyzes? Do they have any support that they can get? And obviously, the main thing is just to hold on these tickets until the very end, until January 31st, 2021, and see what happens by then. Because there might be some brand new support in a box that you might want to get a card of, and you don't go into a generic card right now, but if you want to spend it right now, or you just want to get some ideas, get some discussion going down below, let's take a look at some of my suggestions for what to get from this ticket. Now, of course, we have things like Cosmic, Floodgate, and Canadia, the big three. And I would, at the moment actually, like, the trap cards at least are very good options because Xyz summoning is going to be so prevalent, in the meta right now. And if you can just Floodgate their Utopia or their Deltarus, no, but anything else, then you just kind of shut down their play and they've just invested 2 or 3 resources into this one card that they now can't use. So those traps are incredibly powerful. Now I'm going to go to here and I'm going to search by release date, because I don't know where this goes up to, and I assume it's going to be event staff, yeah, okay, where's it? Okay. So it goes up to the, I don't even remember the name of this one, the mini box, but the one that leaked on their Konami servers, and everyone's like, well, the Chinese guy leaked it, and then it was leaked on their servers. Nothing from this box you should touch. Like, don't touch Maekashi, do not touch Goki. There is no point. Do not touch anything from a structure deck. That's kind of the other big thing, is that there's just no point in wasting things on a card you can get, unless you really want a glossy, but you can pay $4 for this and get it. Obviously, free-to-play plays, then you kind of have to consider if you really want to, but don't. Okay. Then we have, I believe this box is Future, no, it's not Future Horizon, is it? I do not even know the name of the box, but we have Miscellaneous Soros, and I think this one is kind of the best pick from that box, because this will see play in the future, when we get Evolzar stuff, Dolga, Lagia, this will see play in that strategy. In other generic dinos, we've had, Hasselberry come multiple times, kind of teasing Conductor Tyranno. This would be a very big pickup, for that deck, so it's one you should keep an eye out on, one you should definitely have at the back of your mind, like this is a good pick for this specific ticket, because of course, it's from the newest box you can get. So, a good pick there. We have nothing else really from that box that really stood out. Like, even the Vision Hero stuff, maybe not. Ballista Squad probably is one you should go for. This is a decent removal card. If you haven't got Raigeki Breaks, or you haven't got Karma Cuts, even though you probably should get Karma Cut from the Arena Sanctuary box, this is a very good bit of removal that is generic, splash in a deck, and you're fine. Ballista Squad, a very good pick. Faris, heroes can come back anytime. Like, we know they're going to reprint Stratos at some point. Like in some box, probably the next main, we'll get Stratos. So it's very likely we'll get more hero support in that box as well. So you might want to keep Faris at the back of your mind, because he could immediately see more play. And again, like Machina, these can work very well with Gear Gear, and Gear Gear, another Xyz deck, will get more support. So this box, really, this mini box, I know it's a mini box, which means obviously it's less value, because you can go in and have a decent chance of putting these with free-to-play gems. But all 3 of them could see a spike up in play. Now, Machina Fortress is kind of the lower tier of that one, but Ballista Squad, probably a good pick. Then we have, Judgment Force, okay. This was a good box. Now, of course, do not get Judgment Dragon, no one plays it. But the extra deck stuff is, this is the thing here with tickets, is that really, you only need one of each extra deck card, and if you're going into a main box and the only thing you want is Michael from this box, then maybe Michael is a good shout, because he is a pretty good extra deck synchro. Now again, RXCs is going to immediately, or like very quickly, wipe out the need for synchros. Probably not. So Michael might be a very good pick for the next couple of months, to at least keep seeing play. We also have Glow Up Bulb, which obviously has some synchro benefits, but it can again be used for rank 1 Xyz plays, so I think that one is also a fair shout for something decent. Even Kaiser Vorse Raider, just get to level 5 on board. If you get another level 5 on board, that's a rank 5. Anything that special summons is going to be a very good pick for a ticket. Let's see what else is in here. We have... No, nothing. Ninjas maybe? Like... They have more support coming. Yeah, they have a whole... They got a ton of new support when Five Fist got new support. And so they could easily see that come to Duel Links at some point. I know they have like 1 Xyz, I think? Or maybe they don't. Maybe this was... Because this was a tin card back in the Xyz era. This was the cover card of a tin. So maybe he was the odd one out. And that's where I'm misremembering. Artifacts. These are an Xyz deck. They have Xyz monsters, they have some very good spell and trap cards, but I think all of them being ultra rare, well, I mean that one's an event card, but Lancia doesn't really see play, you know, as a hand trap, but might do when the rest of its archetypal stuff come to the game. So again, it's a bit of a 50-50 one. Like, again with Cyber Dragon as well, like Chimera, they have a ton of very good Xyz monsters that if they came, would make them even more busted. Dark Magician is still a decent shout, although it's not tiered at all. You know, if you need a third circle, they're not going to hit this card. You know, DM is doing nothing right now, and I don't think they'll hit Circle if it took them a year to hit Alistair, and that did pretty much nothing for the deck. So, that box again is a very good one, like Raigeki Break. Another mini box card, but a very solid pick for decent removal. Again, with my free-to-play series from scratch, we took quite a bit of our gems to get one copy of this card, and it turns out we didn't really need it because obviously Karma Cut's kind of better, to be fair, even though that's only monsters, so it's still a good pick. What else here? Like, Invoked aren't going anywhere. Like, Invoked Element Saber is, but Invoked by itself, that's still going to be around. Like, I think right now the community is kind of settling on Magician Girls as being the next Invoked deck, but I would not spend on Invoked. At least not right now, until we get a definite confirmation of there's going to be an Invoked deck that works, that's good, I would not touch Alistair or Invocation right this moment. And the same with Blackwings, because Blackwings, although they did just get Close put to 2, that then puts 3 copies of their cards at 2. Which, they don't need Close. Some decks have not been running Close at all. So they might be in a more safer spot than Alistair is. And they are genuinely pretty decent at getting some level 4s on board for rank 4 Xyzes. But you only really need one Zephyros, and Bora. Do you really want to go in and buy a Bora? I don't think you do. Inzectors. Another deck, another Xyz deck, that will probably end up getting support, and this being the only ultra rare in a random old box, could come up and be something like, oh shit, this might be worthwhile for a selection box reprint? That could be a good place for it. So I kind of think that you should hold off on this one. I don't think we'll see Inzectors anytime soon, but again, it's an option for the future. What else do we have? We said about Invoked, just kind of stay away from that right now. There's not a lot from a bunch of these old boxes. Like, there's generic stuff like Lance and Dress and some of the Karakuri stuff as well, is, you know, seeing play now, but Karakuris are kind of getting tamed down with their interaction with Hey Tsunade. So whilst they probably won't be going that far away, they're still going to be pretty good. What else is there that we can kind of... Again, generic synchros like Dragon Mech, like Black Rose Dragon, are always going to be fairly decent. But again, they're cards that have been in, or at least some of them have been in selection boxes, which again is another thing kind of to consider. Do you want to go into selection boxes? Because a lot of people do. For things like Fiendish, which now you can get in a new box, or like Levine. Another one is 6 Samurai. You might not think it, but these guys can abuse level 4 rank 4 rank 4 Xyzes very nicely. They have a rank 4 Xyz of their own, which is fairly decent, so we might see them pop up again, you know? You might see them on ladder right now, because they're still very, very good at getting out multiple level 4s. And then you just get them on board, you Xyz summon into Utopia, into Deltaros, and then you have a very solid strategy for a deck that, you know, doesn't see play anymore. So they might be a solid shout, not for right now. Again, 6 Samurais are one you should kind of wait on for a while, see what happens. Wielder, like, if you're playing a rank 3 deck, having Wielder in there for synchro access is not going to be a bad thing whatsoever. But again, here we go. Fire Fists, especially Bear. Fire Fists have a ton of Xyzes, and we've seen in the game files, in the Duel world, NPCs use them. Which to me, Fire Fists also seem like a deck that would get an EX deck, and then have this reprinted. So, until they kind of confirm a Fire Fist deck or a Fire Fist support coming, hold off on it. But have it at the back of your mind, because they are genuinely a fun Xyz deck to play with, so you might again want to hold off on that one. The suggestions are always kind of similar. If you need generic stuff, like Cosmic, Canadia, Bloodgate, that kind of thing, go for them, because they're always going to see play. But if you want to have fun with the game, and you want to play a decent Xyz deck, wait a bit. Wait until the very last minute to redeem these tickets, and then you'll be able to get, you know, a card that at least serves you better in that moment than right now, because chances are you won't need something right this moment to kind of play around with, because there's not many Xyz cards in the game anyway right now. Is there anything else? Swap Frog. Again, I believe this card is available via a not Dream Ticket, a selection box. But frogs, they can get more support. Mermails can get more support. They're an Xyz deck as well. So there's plenty of decks right now in Duel Links that, you know, that are Xyz based, that have some broken Xyz monsters that if they came to the game, you'd have to go in and dig in to boxes from like 2 years ago to find, because that's kind of the way Duel Links has evolved. Noble Knights as well are another one that you might not think, oh, Noble Knights, they can't be good again, but they can be. They probably will be when their support does come around. There's a ton of decks in Duel Links, so I'm gonna kind of leave it off there. I think that's most of the stuff that is that has some decent Xyz support down the line. There might be one or two other things. I'm kind of scrolling down. We're getting to the very beginning of Duel Links right now, and I can't see anything here that's just kind of screaming at me that this might get more support. I'd overall suggest waiting, as always, to last minute, see what you want to get, and judge it on a fun deck you can play with. You only get one of these every couple of months, and you want to make a good choice for the investment. So again, staples or a core archetype card that you can use in an Xyz deck. That's why it's just waiting, because we are going to be getting way more Xyz monsters. We're getting 2 more Vire events this month, and we're getting another box that might have Gears and might have some Mermail stuff in it. So yeah, look forward to that leak video tomorrow, by the way. Kind of a plug for that one. But let me know down below what your thoughts are for what we're going to be picking for this Dream UR ticket. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.